Okay, so I'm in ScanNCut Canvas with a new blank page, and the first thing I'm going to do is open the Brother type converter. I'm going to type a small letter S on my keyboard, and then I'm going to scroll down until I find the font that I want to use. It's called Kitty Cats. It's here on the screen, and it's from dafont.com. I'm going to click Save. I'm going to save it on my desktop, and I'll just leave it as this generic name for now. And then I'm going to close the converter. I'm going to come to the SVG icon within Canvas. I'm going to navigate to my desktop where I've saved that file, and I'm going to open it and say OK. And that's going to bring the cat onto my screen. I'm just going to make it bigger and put it on one side just for you to see it. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is come to the basic shapes. I'm going to come down to row 3, and I'm going to choose the 3rd and the 4th, because I'm not quite sure which one I want to use. I think I'm going to choose this. So this is the 4th design on row 3. So I'm going to get rid of that. With it selected, I'm going to come to the properties box. I'm going to untick maintain aspect ratio, and in the first box I'm going to type 5 and hit tab on my keyboard. Then I'm going to highlight the second figure and delete it and type 8 and say OK. So I've now got a rounded rectangle that measures 5 inches high by 8 inches wide. With that selected, I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard to duplicate it. I'm going to come back to my basic shapes and hit the back arrow to get me to the text. I'm going to choose the first font in the top left-hand corner. I'm going to double click to expose the flashing cursor and hit the back key to delete the text. And with the capital locks down on my keyboard, I'm going to type the word cat and then click anywhere on the page to select it. Now I want to make it bigger. I'm going to bring it over onto this rectangle, and I'm going to drag it out and drag it down by eye until I'm happy with how it looks. I'm going to bring the cat in, and with the cat selected, I'm going to go to Edit, Flip Horizontally so it faces this way, and I'm going to drag a corner down and shrink it down to fit it in here. Just going to send this rectangle to the back so that my cat and my letters are on top. I might make the letters a little bit taller. I'm going to click on the letters, and I'm going to right click and hit divide so that I can select the letter A and just move it over a little bit so I've got a bit more of an even spacing. So I'm going to select the letter C, hold my shift key down, select the A, select the T. With just those 3 selected, right click and hit group. I'm going to create a duplicate of those, so I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard and put them on one side, and I'm going to select the cat and do the same, hit the D key on my keyboard to get a duplicate. I'm going to select all 3, and then I'm going to come to Edit, Subtract. And that should now have punched the word cat and the cat out of this bottom rounded rectangle. So if I now come up to the properties box and fill this with a pale grey, it should be see-through. If I come to the top one and fill it with a darker grey and then position that on top, you can now see through this one. So this one's got cutouts. So now I'm going to bring the word cat back in. I'm going to come to Edit, come to the offset icon. I'm going to take it down to as small as it will go, 0.04. I'm going to say inward, and I want to delete the original, and then say OK. I'm going to select all the letters, right click and make them a group. I'm going to come to the properties box and I'm going to fill them in with the pale grey. And now they should line up and sit just inside this cutout, because I'm going to cut these twice and glue them together, so I want them to be able to sit in here comfortably without having to be forced in. So while they're selected, I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard and create a duplicate, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the cat. I'm going to select the cat, go Edit, Offset, take the spacing down to 0.04, say inward, and make sure the original line is deleted because I don't need it. So this is the smaller cat now, and again I'm going to do the same thing, fill it with the pale grey, and that should sit just inside, and it does. So again, with that selected, I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard and create a duplicate. So I've got 4 elements. This is the base. This is going to be glued directly on top, and then this is going to be glued on top of here, and this is going to be glued on top of here, and then these, once they're cut, should be able to be sitting inside this cutout shapes. Now you could add a third layer because you've got 2 layers of the chipboard here, although you know 1 layer's cut out, so I think 2 will be enough, but you could create 3 layers if you wanted to. And then I'm going to paint it all up, and I'll probably do this as a giveaway. So please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so. Share the video if you can, and I'll see you in the next video.